boys were last seen leaving the school on 14th May 1986. They are believed to have been abducted. So, any suggestions on what the kidnappers' motive was? Anyone? Cadet Jake?
Maybe the kidnappers needed the kids to get free balloon? I don't know.
Cadet Alfonso?
Sir, why are we studying all this ancient history? I don't think kidnapping is even possible today.
Well, there's also the psychological aspect of the crime that's worth studying.
Sure. I thought people back then think like how we think today, right?
Like it or not, it's part of the curriculum. Sir! How are you today?
Okay. You are...
Sir, I'm ASP LEE from the Education Branch. We spoke briefly at the Cybercrime Conference.
Oh, yes. I remember.
Sir, I am actually here to ask if there's any way I can make an appeal for the enforcer position at the Cybercrime Tactical Unit.
Oh, that. I'm afraid I can't do much. Everything is decided by the system.
I see. Can you maybe help me check? Because I really believe my experience in CID can be a great asset to cybercrimes.
CID? You were from CID? Then how did you end up in the education branch? Hey, sir!
Lee! Hey! What brings you here?
Sir?
Oh, DSP Azhar. You know ASP LEE?
Of course! We were from the same batch during our cadet days.
Wow, you must have done really well to be promoted so quickly.
Lee took a longer time to find his calling in teaching.
I think ASP LEE isn't really enjoying his time in the education branch. He was just asking me about his application for the Cybercrime Tactical Unit.
Cybercrime? That's interesting. I think it will be a pity for talents like him to leave the education branch. Not many officers have storytelling talents like him.
So, shall we? Lee, care to join?
No, sir. I have a lunch appointment with someone later.
ICC has just released the list of recipients for Chronos Time Travel Grant. Out of 2,850 proposals received, only 3 proposals were selected this year. And Singapore is one of the 3 countries that will be receiving the grant. The ICC was founded to oversee the usage of the T180, a rare crystal discovered on Mars. The T180, when used together with a photo negative, allow users to travel back in time to when the photo was taken. The discovery of this technology was met with a ton of backlashes, mainly questioning the purpose of a time travel and how some may abuse it for personal gain, such as stock price manipulation.
I've already made arrangements with DSP Wilson to resume my duties at...
Hey Lee! ASP LEE! Your proposal for a Chronos Time Travel Grant has been selected. Congrats to you and to me, because I have been put in charge of you.
Which proposal did they pick?
I can't disclose it yet, but how many proposals did you submit?
Sir, sorry to interrupt. Well, I'm honored to be picked for the team. I wish to decline this offer as I have...
Sergeant Ang, it was your unit decision to send you here.
Wait, is there a mistake? Why was she selected? I remember... See? I specifically requested for 2 Special Forces officers for the mission.
Well, she's from...
Sir, are you assuming that I'm not from Special Force?
Look, Sergeant. When I wrote Special Force officers, I was assuming it would be male officers.
What has gender got to do with this? I survived Hell Week just like everyone else.
Do you have any idea how Singapore was like in the past? It's a different world back then. The streets are dirty, the toilets don't have toilet paper, housing estates are surrounded by jungles with wild animals and...
So?
Will you be willing to pee on the roadside?
Sir, I've changed my mind. I'll gladly accept this new posting.
Inspector Raj!
Sir? You looking for me, right? Still having my lunch. Busy day.
Inspector Raj, you have been assigned to the Chronos project.
Chronos? Oh, the ICC thing ah.
This gentleman here is ASP LEE. He'll be your IC.
This is ridiculous. You want me to go on a Chronos mission with a girl and an old and upsized inspector? Ugh, never mind. Look, this is not a simple mission. No matter what, I'm going to need...
Commissioner Jordan! I'll send you the details.
The Kallang Drive murder?
Sir, is this posting order cast in stone? I mean, is it possible to assign someone else?
Yes, there's definitely a mistake. I'll make an appeal to make sure you two get posted elsewhere.
I'm not late, am I?
Inspector Raj, you are late.
Yes, sir. If I'm ever late again, I'll time travel back 5 minutes before our meeting time, sir.
Let us begin. Our mission is to solve an unsolvable murder case in 1979. 3 children were murdered in a HDB flat along Kallang Drive. Their bodies were found stacked inside the toilet. There are 2 puzzling clues to this case. First, there was no sign of breaking in. Second, the kitchen was said to have been thoroughly cleaned. Based on this evidence, the police at the time managed to narrow to 2 suspects. The first key suspect is Gambler Wang. He was let off the hook at the time because he had an alibi to prove that he was not at the scene. The second suspect is their neighbour Uncle Lo. He is a likely suspect because A. Uncle Lo had easy access to the house because the kids would always open the doors for him whenever he needed to use their house phone, which explains why there was no sign of break-in. And B. The taxi driver claimed he heard a loud metal sound hitting on his taxi when Uncle Lo boarded his vehicle. He also saw Uncle Lo had blood stains on his shirt.
I'm confused. Did the police even bother to look for the shirt with blood stains?
I read the case files. Uncle Lo was released because the stains on his shirt belonged to a different blood type.
It's the 1980s. What do you expect? There was no DNA technology in Singapore back in the 1980s. Both Lo and Wang eventually had their names cleared due to lack of evidence. At that time, members of the public were very unhappy with the police decision.
It really looks like the police in the 1980s did a sloppy job. There's even a statement recorded about an unidentified witness. A limping guy with red cap. Who took these statements? It's just plain sloppy.
Well, using today's AI simulations, we've determined that our prime suspect is Uncle Lo.
But why? What could be his motive?
Based on our AI projections, the probability of Uncle Lo's motive to kill could be because he might be having an affair with Lim's wife. Thus, the killing is an act of revenge.
Affair? Sir, don't always trust all these computer-generated projection. The way the kids are murdered and how the place was cleaned feels like some triad is sending a message or taking a revenge.
No wonder you're still an inspector. Raj, these high-tech applications were designed to aid us in our investigations. If you don't trust them, then you're just like a caveman living in the 1980s.
Okay, enough. So the plan is to catch this sucker before he gets into that taxi thing, right?
No! Chronos missions are not meant to disrupt history. We are there to find evidence to solve the murder. Our mission is to check if Uncle Lo has the weapon with him before he boards the taxi.
What? That's your plan? Seriously, I don't get it. Then what's the whole point of this mission?
I'm with Ang. This whole mission sounds really pointless. It's like someone managed to invent a time machine and now they're trying to use it to earn some brownie points?
Maybe solving this case can allow the police force to learn something? I don't know. All I know that this case gets a lot of international attention, and for the police force, it's good for PR. So if we do it well, we can get promoted and then we can all resume our original lives. Right?
Sir, but I still don't think it's Uncle Lo. Didn't the Lims reported that they lost their house key?
I think it was few weeks before the murder.
The police have already ruled that out. Anyone who picked up those lost keys can't do anything about it because they will need to have the address to the keys.
So, Lo is the prime suspect just because the kids have a tendency to open doors to him? That really bothers me. Why did the kids let Lo into their house when their parents are not around? It makes no sense.
According to the data, the people in the past are less educated. Thus, they are more innocent? According to my research, it's called Kampung Spirit.
Kampung Spirit? So they're all from the same religion?
I'm not quite sure, but it's fairly common for them to leave their doors unlocked and let strangers into the house to borrow stuff.
What? How unevolved are they?
It doesn't matter. Anyway, I will end the briefing here. Have a good rest and report if they assign uniform tomorrow at 0700 hours.